Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. I am Inevitable, and this is the Calm Face Valiant Ambition podcast, where I'll be speaking about literally anything that sparks my interest and sharing my perspective on it. Thanks once again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the video. So today we're going to speak about twin flames as catalysts and how intensity awakens us and forces transformation. This subject blends spirituality, psychology, and destiny, and it challenges us to see love not only as comfort, but as fire that reshapes us. All right. So, like I do in all my videos, I will be breaking this topic down into four different sections. And then after that, we'll be diving into the golden nuggets as to how you can go ahead and implement this insight into your daily life and your daily doings if you are a twin flame, essentially. All right. So, twin flames are often described as mirrors, souls that reflect each other's deepest truths. But beyond reflection, they act as catalysts. The intensity of the connection is not accidental. It is designed to awaken, disrupt, and transform. This awakening is really gentle. It comes through passion, conflict, and revelation. Twin flames push us to confront shadows, heal wounds, and embrace growth. They remind us that love is not only about union, it is about transformation. All right? So, with that being said, let's dive into section one, intensity as awakening. Twin flame intensity awakens us by shaking us out of comfort. It forces us to see truths we might otherwise ignore, and it accelerates growth in ways ordinary relationships cannot. The fire of this connection is not meant to destroy, it is meant to illuminate. Point number one, intensity reveals hidden wounds, bringing suppressed emotions to the surface. The connection acts like a spotlight, exposing what must be healed and demanding attention. Point number two, passion magnifies both joy and pain, teaching us that love is not passive, it is active, demanding engagement, honesty, and courage. Point number three, awakening through intensity often feels overwhelming, but it is precisely this disruption that sparks transformation, forcing us to evolve faster than we thought possible. For example, a person in a twin flame connection may suddenly confront childhood trauma triggered by the relationship, realizing that healing is necessary for union. Intensity awakens us because it refuses to let us remain asleep. Twin flames are catalysts, shaking us into awareness and demanding that we grow into our fullest selves. All right? So, intensity acts as a catalyst, awakening us to truths we cannot ignore and pushing us toward transformation. So, that was section one, intensity as awakening. So, this is something that I've definitely noticed on my twin flame journey, right? Um, that intense awakening that I experienced when I met my twin flame, like the amount of trauma that she brought about to me. So, I'm gonna go on a bit on a tangent here. So, the way I was brought up in the world, I was brought up to be self-reliant because of all the times that I guess I've tried to express my emotions and got turned down or got told that that's not the way that uh, male is supposed to be. So I became very closed off and I developed avoidant tendencies to where when someone would show me expressions of love, I would tend to avoid that. I tend to distance myself from that. Because in my mind, to me, someone expressing love to me, expressing vulnerability to me, that indicated to my brain danger, and that triggered this fight or flight response in my brain that caused me to just dissociate myself from people or situations that would require me to be vulnerable, right? So what my twin flame did, so my twin flame is the complete opposite of me, right? She's an empath and I was an avoidant. So just imagine that dynamic. You know what I mean? Someone who's overly expressive, over emotional, and very much intuitive and with like in tune with their feelings. And then you get someone who's the complete opposite, someone who's avoidant, someone who hates expressing emotions and doesn't want to be vulnerable at any cost, because to them being vulnerable means death, right? So she brought this trauma out of me to the point of where I just wanted to completely avoid her. I didn't want to be near her. I didn't want to have anything to do with her. And this caused me a lot of heartache because, well, essentially, she was sent into my life to help me heal this past trauma, this pain that I've been carrying around. And instead of me choosing to accept her presence as healing, I accepted it as a threat. And that caused me to, cause a lot of pain, cause a lot of hurt, cause a lot of discomfort. And, I could go on a entire story on what exactly how that went down, but I probably should not. And a lot of time wasted, you know what I mean? But back to the point, long story short, I ended up remaining in my avoidant ways, wasted a lot of time, and then I only caused myself more hurt. But now recently I've come out of that and I've accepted her presence as healing, and it is healing, and I'm grateful for it. And I know life is only going to get better from here. So things are looking up. But that act of this connection, bringing up your past traumas, your past wounds, forcing you to transform or essentially die off. You know what I mean? I hate to say it so briefly, but that's exactly what comes to my mind when I think about it's either you evolve or you devolve. You know what I mean? Let's dive into section two. Apologies for that long tangent. Section two, confronting shadows. Twin flames catalyze growth by forcing us to confront shadows. The connection mirrors back our fears, insecurities, and unresolved wounds, making avoidance impossible. This is not cruelty, it is medicine, though it often tastes bitter. Point number one, shadows surface in the twin flame dynamic, revealing patterns of fear, control, and abandonment and self doubt that must be healed. Point number two, confronting shadows is painful, but it is necessary. The twin flame journey demands honesty with self, stripping away illusions and forcing authenticity. Point number three, healing shadows transforms weakness into strength, turning wounds into wisdom and scars into lessons. For example, a person who fears abandonment may find this fear triggered in separation, forcing them to heal and build self love instead of dependency. Confronting shadows is the heart of transformation. Twin flames catalyze growth by refusing to let us hide. They awaken us to the parts of ourselves we must heal to become whole. So shadow work becomes central to the twin flame journey, with intensity acting as the catalyst for healing and growth. So that was section two, confronting shadows. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll be diving into section three, separation as catalyst. Separation in twin flame journeys is not punishment, it is a catalyst. The pain of distance forces growth, teaching resilience, independence, and self love. What feels like loss is often preparation. Point number one, separation teaches us that union cannot be sustained without individual wholeness. It forces each twin to grow independently before reunion is possible. Point number two, the pain of separation awakens strength, showing that love must be balanced with self respect, boundaries, and inner stability. Point number three, separation reframes love as growth, reminding us that absence is not the end, it is preparation for deeper union and maturity. For example, a runner chaser dynamic often forces both twins to confront dependency and fear, leading to healing that makes reunion sustainable. Separation is the fire that tempers the soul. It catalyzes growth by teaching us that love cannot be sustained until we are whole within ourselves. So, separation acts as a catalyst, transforming pain into preparation and ensuring that union is built on strength. Powerful. What do you think about section 3? Separation as a catalyst. This really does reframe the the notion of separation, right? Instead of making it seem like you are two beings that are completely not meant for each other, instead it reframes the picture as two beings that are preparing to meet each other, you know? I think that's really beautiful. I'd really love to know your thoughts. So let's dive into section 4, union as transformation. Ultimately, twin flame union is not only about love, it is about transformation. The intensity of the journey ensures that when union occurs, it is not shallow but deeply transformative. Union is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of a new chapter of purpose. Point number 1, union reflects the culmination of growth where both twins have confronted shadows, embraced authenticity, and built resilience. Point number 2, the relationship becomes a platform for collective impact as awakened individuals bring healing, wisdom, and inspiration to others. Union symbolizes integration, the merging of passion, growth, and purpose into a relationship that transcends ordinary love and becomes a force for change. For example, twin flames who reunite after years of growth often find their relationship become a source of inspiration for others, modeling resilience and transformation. Union is the fruit of intensity. Twin flames catalyze transformation so that when love is finally sustained, it is not fragile, it is powerful, purposeful, and enduring. So union becomes the ultimate transformation, proving that intensity was never chaos, it was preparation for destiny. Powerful. I really love to know your thoughts on section 4 as well. Union as transformation. Alright, so now we'll be diving into the golden nugget of the video, which is my practical steps for implementation on how you can go ahead and implement this insight into your daily life and your daily doings if you are to inflame, essentially. Alright, step number 1, embrace intensity. Instead of resisting the passion and disruption, see it as a catalyst for growth. Intensity is not punishment, it is awakening, designed to accelerate your evolution. Step number 2, do shadow work. I feel like this is the utmost important step of them all, shadow work. Because without shadow work, you're still going to be carrying around that past traumas, you're still going to be carrying around all those inner child wounds, and this will definitely not assist you and not aid you in coming into that harmonious union with your twin, you know. um these are definitely traumas and wounds that you would need to heal and work with and forgive yourself for, because without that inner work, it'll never happen. Believe me, it'll never happen without that inner work. So, step number 2, do shadow work. Use the mirror of the twin flame connection to confront fears, insecurities, and wounds. Journaling, therapy, or meditation can help you process what surfaces. Healing shadows is essential for transformation. It's essential for transformation. So, journaling, self therapy. I I'm not one to, I'm not going to bash on therapists, but I'm not the one who typically would run to a therapist or like some sort of counselor for advice. I would always go to God first, and I would seek his knowledge, seek his wisdom, seek his love first before I attempt to go to, another human being. And then after I go to God, I go within myself. I make sure to tune myself in with my intuition before I go and speak to another person, another human being, and hear their insight, Um, I feel going to God first, going within yourself second, and then going to an external individual. I feel like that's the best way forward. Personally, I've seen this help for me. But let's go on to step number 3, accept separation. Reframe distance as preparation, using the time apart to build independence, resilience, and self love. Separation is not abandonment, it is training for deeper union. Step number 4, seek authenticity. Align your actions with truth, ensuring that the relationship reflects growth rather than illusion. Authenticity prevents cycles of pain and creates space for genuine connection. Step number 5, balance love with self respect. Remember that union requires wholeness. Love cannot thrive without boundaries and inner strength. Respecting yourself ensures that love is empowering, not draining. And then step number 6, transform pain into purpose. Use the lessons of intensity to inspire others, turning personal growth into collective wisdom. Sharing your journey can help others navigate their own. By practicing these steps, we see twin flames not only as partners, but as catalysts. Their intensity awakens us, their struggles transform us, and their union empowers us. The journey is not only about love, it is about becoming, right? So, those are my practical steps on how you can go ahead and integrate this insight into your life and your twin flame journey, all right? So, I'll leave you with this reflection. Twin flames awaken us through intensity, forcing transformation that ordinary love cannot. How has intensity acted as a catalyst in your journey? Think about it, share it, and let's explore together how awakening through intensity reshapes love and identity. I'd really love to hear your thoughts and your perspective. Drop them in the comments. How has the twin flame journey catalyzed your growth if you are a twin flame? Your commentary really does add to the conversation, and together I know we can build a deeper understanding of awakening through intensity and what it means to us. All right? So I'd just like to seize this moment to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. If you enjoyed my insight, go ahead and leave me a like. And if you're interested in hearing more about what I have to share on this channel, then you can subscribe as well. And once again, I am inevitable. And this is the Calm Face Violent Ambition podcast. Have a wonderful rest of your day.